I guess I didn't learn my lesson last time. Yes, I'm doing another top game of the year's list, because that worked out so well last time.
But in all seriousness, my top 10 games of 2015 video wasn't terrible. It's just the games I had to talk about weren't really all that interesting.
Also, I fucked up pretty royally.
If you've watched the video, you'll recall the only reason I did a top 10 list is because I thought that was the exact number of games I played from 2015. Well, not only did I get that wrong, but the wrong game was named my Game of the Year. That's right, the main reason to make that sort of list, and I fucked it up. Spoilers for anyone that wanted to watch that video, by the way, but Fallout Shelter was named my Game of the Year, when really it should have gone to Rayman Adventures, as I liked that game a hell of a lot more than Fallout Shelter. I didn't find out that this game was released in 2015 until I was pretty much done editing the video. The video was taking forever to come out as it was, so I didn't really have time to redo the whole video. The relevancy of my list was waning, so I considered either putting it in as honorable mentions or making a follow-up video where I gave my real games of 2015, which would have been a short video where I essentially redid my whole list. But I didn't do either, as the video seemed fine the way it was, and because I'm lazy, as we've already established.
So it turns out I didn't have to talk about a Transform Ice after all. God damn it. But enough about last year. This video's about this year, and this time I was much more prepared. I kept track of as many games from this year as I could. I also typed out a fair amount of the script in advance. Suffice to say, I shouldn't fuck it up this time.
I will admit, I did get to play some big games from this year like Titanfall 2, Gears of War 4, and Battlefield 1, but I'm not including them on this list. Why? Well, there are other games that I played more of this year, and it would seem like a bit of a cop-out to throw these games in there. Plus, everyone's going to talk about these games, so why not be a little different and talk about other games like last year? Also, I'm only doing 5 games this time as opposed to 10, because it should take me less time to edit this video. Plus, I played well over 30 games this year, and there is no way in hell I'm doing a top 30 list.
And one last thing I want to mention before I begin. Some of the footage in this video is not recorded by me, but by other people. Disclaimers will be provided on screen, and links to their respective channels will be in the description below. Go check them out if you want to see more sexy gameplay. Anyhow, without further ado, here are my top 5 games 2016.
Number V. Or, well, I guess 5. I'll admit, a major reason I'm including this game on my list is for relevancy's sake. But whatever. Here, ironically, at number 5 is FNAF World. Now, I'm not a big Five Nights at Freddy's fan. Matter of fact, this is pretty much the only game I've played in the franchise. So, my gameplay experiences with the series are very limited. However, I do know quite a bit about the lore, and think it's the most interesting part of the entire series. Even though recently it started to get really convoluted and ridiculous. So, after playing FNAF World, what are my impressions of the franchise? Is it something I feel like investing more time into? Well, honestly, I'm still not all that impressed. Yeah, I know this is just a spin-off game and very much different from the main games, but even for a spin-off game it isn't all that fun. Plus, to be honest, the fact that it was different from the main games is the primary reason I played it in the first place. It interests me more from a gameplay perspective than the traditional games. Also, it was free, so that certainly enticed me. However, FNAF World fails at being a good RPG. I found the combat fun at first, but tiresome as the game went on. The story is very bland and forgettable. The hub world is a mixed match of random environments with no proper context, and enemy interaction is even more annoying than in Pokemon. But despite all this, I continued to play the game till the very end. Heck, I even 100% completed it. Why? Well, for one, I still found some enjoyment in this game. I had a little fun discovering all the game's secrets, and Update 2 was marginally more entertaining than the base game. And second, to get the most out of this game, you essentially have to 100% it. Breezing through the story mode will severely shorten the length of the game. Trying to do everything in the game, on the other hand, will increase the longevity of the experience, for better or worse. However, personally, I don't think this is good game design. I should be able to walk away from beating a game feeling satisfied even though there is still stuff to do. Completing a game should always remain optional, and not necessary like it does in this game. This aspect also plays into the problem of the minigame Chica's Magic Rainbow. It's basically an NES hard race to the finish sort of game. What I hate about this minigame is not that it's insanely difficult, but also that I feel obligated to play it in order to beat the game. The characters I unlock from beating this minigame seem essential in defeating the final boss. This, too, is not good game design in my opinion. I shouldn't be forced to do a difficult challenge if I don't want to. Something like this minigame should always remain optional. I could go on and on about this game, but I don't think it's necessary for this video. Overall, I think FNAF World is a forgettable experience that probably isn't worth most people's time. But if you're at all interested in this game, you can download it for free on GameJolt and play it for yourself. Although, if you skip this game, I don't think you'll be missing much. Number IV. Or, as the Romans say, 4. I contemplated what game I should put in this spot, but I think I'll give it to Uncharted Fortune Hunter, as I pretty much had no good reason to play that game. Also, I can technically use Nathan Drake for clickbait my thumbnail now. What I meant by having no good reason to play this game is that I didn't find a main selling point for playing it all that rewarding. Uncharted Fortune Hunter was primarily made as a companion game to Uncharted 4. By completing chapters and collecting enough treasures, you unlock exclusive multiplayer rewards that you can use in Uncharted 4. These rewards are pretty much dumb skins and costume pieces for your character, like a newsboy hat and a copper weapon skin. Needless to say, these rewards aren't that good of an incentive to play this game because they don't look all that impressive or cool, at least in my opinion. I think the only rewards worth redeeming in this game are the extra boosters and relics, if you need them. Alright, the rewards in the game weren't appealing, and on top of that, I don't even own a PS4, so I can't redeem the stupid rewards yet anyway. With all of this, why did I continue to play the game? Well, the actual game was fun. Yeah, stupid gimmicks aside, the game itself isn't that bad of a puzzle game, and I found myself enjoying it. You play as Nathan Drake, because of course, and the goal of every level is to reach the treasure on the X platform. Fortune Hunter is set up similar to the Go series of games by Square Enix, but provides its own twist on the puzzle gameplay to feel different. This is also a free-to-play game and offers a few in-game purchases. However, these purchases only pertain to buying more mystical orbs and revealing all collectible locations on the map, both of which I think are pointless purchases. So, essentially, you can play the whole game and never spend a penny on it, which is definitely a good thing in my opinion. The only small complaint I have with this game is that Nathan and Sully's models look kinda weird. Other than those two, the rest of the game looks fine. All in all, this is a fine little free-to-play puzzle game. If you like puzzle games in this sort of style, you'll probably find some enjoyment in this game like I did. It's certainly no Lara Croft Go, but I dare say it's better than Deus Ex Go. Number 3. 3. That's totally what I said. Pocket Mortys. Yeah, Pokemon ripoff game in my number 3 spot, but hey, it's pretty good despite being a clone. In case it wasn't obvious enough, Pocket Mortys is a mobile game based off of the adult animated show Rick and Morty. It also serves as sort of a parody to the Pokemon games, and borrows several gameplay elements from that series. Now while those aspects make it sound like a cheap licensed game designed purely to make a quick buck, Pocket Mortys is actually more than just a Pokemon copycat. The game offers a much more streamlined experience. While Pokemon has a focus on exploring, Pocket Mortys is heavily focused on battling. Each dimension you visit is pretty cookie-cutter in design, and only serves as a basic environment to battle trainers and collect wild Mortys in. Now while that may sound like a bad thing, it's made up for by the fact that the combat system is just as fun and satisfying as a traditional Pokemon game. Not only does the game emulate the core of Pokemon pretty well, but it also does a good job of mixing it in with the Rick and Morty IP. In a way, it feels similar to an episode of the show. I know that sounds weird, but I mean it in the sense that I feel like this could actually be the plot of an episode of Rick and Morty. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised when an episode of Season 3 is based off of this game. Pocket Mortys even features the voice talent of Justin Roiland, who voices the main characters of the show. It's a nice little detail that adds some more character to the game. I also give this game brownie points for giving me a good reason to finally watch Rick and Morty, and now I'm in love with the show because of it. I enjoy this game almost the same level that I enjoy Pokemon. Not exactly on the same level, as Pocket Mortys is a much simpler game, and grinding is a bit more convoluted compared to Pokemon. But I still like it nonetheless. Overall, not a bad little Pokemon reskin. If you like Pokemon, and especially Rick and Morty, you might find some enjoyment from this game. It's free to download, so try it out and see what you think. Number douche. Deuce? Dose? Screw it. Number 2. Some of you will probably call this a cop-out on my end, since I play this game the least amount compared to the other choices on this list. Especially since I haven't even made it close to halfway through the game. But whatever, I want to include this game on my list. The game I'm talking about is Pokemon Uranium. Yes, the famous Pokemon fan game that was shut down by Nintendo. Nintendo's meddling with the game wasn't the main reason I included it on this list, but it was one of many. I wanted to give this game the recognition it deserves, even though I haven't played enough to technically give a thorough opinion of the game. As of making this video, I've only played an hour. I was originally going to try to put at least 20 hours into the game, which I felt was a reasonable length of time, but I could barely tolerate playing an hour, so I just stopped there. And this is not the game's problem. It's more like I'm burnt out on the Pokemon formula after putting 80 hours into Pokemon Emeralds. This doesn't mean I'll never play this game again. I'll play it again when I feel like it, and right now, unfortunately, I don't feel in the mood. So, I'm pretty much going off of speculation as to how the game is, and if my speculations are correct, I'm sure this game is close to the same quality as an official Pokemon game. Not quite the same, as I think the character sprites could have been drawn a little better, but it definitely has the heart and spirit of a Pokemon game. If you love the Pokemon franchise, then track this game down and download it. This is one fan game you definitely shouldn't miss. Also, fuck Nintendo. Numero uno! Go fish! Oh, wait, that's the wrong game. And it's number 1, so... bleh.
Bad Rat Show. What? You don't think that's my game of the year? You think I'm joking? No, I'm not joking. Bad Rats is really my game of the year. Like, the puzzles are really well designed, and the physics are so realistic. I mean, it took me by surprise. And Alright. You got me. I am joking. Bad Rats, obviously, is not my game of the year. My game of the year is Mighty Number 9. You still don't believe me. You think I'm pulling your leg again? Well, I for one feel insulted that you would think such way. I mean, so what if I like a game that no one else likes? Maybe my tastes in gaming are different than everyone else's. Okay, fine. That's not my game of the year either, okay? My real game of the year is No Man's Sky. Alright, jeez! Guy can't drag out a joke for too long. My game of the year for 2016 is...
Another Metroid 2 remake. AM2R is hands down the best game I've played all year. The quality of this game just astounds me. It legitimately feels like an official remake by Nintendo and not a fan game. I've never played the original Metroid 2, so I can't compare the game between the two, but even as a game on its own, it's a fantastic Metroid title. It borrows the playstyle of Metroid Zero Mission and Metroid Fusion, and works it fantastically into the setting of Metroid 2. The gameplay is fluid, the graphics are very detailed, the music is well composed, and the environments are fun to explore. It also features full controller support, which makes it easier to play the game. It's also the preferable method. You can probably play this game okay with the keyboard setup, but it's definitely not as smooth as playing with a controller. One minor complaint I have with this game is that when using a controller, I felt the analog sticks were underutilized. What I'm saying is, when you use a controller, you can use the left analog stick to move around, as well as move your beam cannon in the direction you're moving. The left analog stick works fine for movement, but trying to use it to aim your weapon at the same time is troublesome. I believe the solution to this problem would have been having the left analog stick used strictly for movement, and using the right analog stick to aim your weapon. This control scheme would make moving and shooting with the analog sticks much better. Other than that, I virtually have no complaints. This game is practically perfect in my eyes. If you haven't yet, I implore you to play it as soon as possible. It's probably one of the best fan games ever made. Now, I quickly want to address the elephant in the room, and that would be Nintendo's DMCA takedown of this game. To be honest, I can kind of understand why Nintendo would want to take this game specifically off the internet. With this particular game, Nintendo could have just easily repurposed this game and sold it on the eShop for like $10 or so. And honestly, I would have no problem paying that price. This game is that good. But still, Nintendo had no right taking this game down. If the creators started charging money for it, then yeah, I would understand because they're profiting off of Nintendo's IP, but if they just want to show their appreciation for a franchise and share it with others, then Nintendo really has nothing to worry about. They'll still hold the rights to the series, and fans will be happy that they have a good game to play based off a franchise that they love. Besides, if you really think you're gonna shut down every fan game that comes out of the woodwork, then good luck, Nintendo. You're gonna have to remove hundreds of thousands of Mario fan games and ROM hacks out there, and that will certainly be no easy task.
And there you have it, my top 5 games for 2016. You know, a year ago, I honestly didn't think I would make another one of these videos, but as it would turn out, I managed to get my hands on a few interesting games from last year that I felt like talking about. We'll see if 2017 has any interesting games in store for me. Anyhow, do you agree with my picks? What are your favorite games from 2016? Let me know in the comments down below. And until I next upload a video, happy 2017 everyone! Got it, boy.